The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 850-60. I don't even know. I'm in a hotel room. I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Well, I'm supposed to be here, but I'm not supposed to be on the internet with you. But who's also not supposed to be on the internet because he still needs to organize his pop collection. It's from an undisclosed location. I forget which town you moved to. It's Mad Mike.
Hi, Sorg.
Hi.
This is the new Mad Mike Cave. It is in beta. It is in beta version. But you said I haven't had time to organize my pops. Sorg, I am happy to tell you that is one of the first things I have done.
Oh, of course.
Because these pops behind me are not my pops. Those are my wife's pops.
Oh.
My pops, if you want to go on a little tour,
geez,
are
that
over
is a
here.
folder shelf.
that is my pop collection.
There's a lot more going on there for sure. There's like it was a little sparse on the one behind you. That one is like meticulous, like color coded.
Oh, I have them organized, so I'll break down my categories for you. I have Looney Tunes, DC Live Action, DC Comics, DC Animated, Sports Ball, Disney, Simpsons, Dragon Ball Z, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Marvel TV Live Action, Marvel Movies, Star Wars, Doctor Who, a lot of WWE and wrestling pops, Harry Potter, and Christmas and Ninja Turtles. And
Christmas and Ninja Turtles, I love it.
Yeah. I put my Christmas themed Bray Wyatt in with Hans Gruber. So,
Nice.
That's a fun party.
Absolutely. Well, again, I am coming to you from Portland, Oregon. I am a spitting distance of the airport and also Washington State, right across the river. And apparently the FBI field office for Portland is right next door. So I know you're listening. So,
and by the way, Sorg, I forgot.
Yes.
I finally have displayed my Slammy Award. I'm staring at my Slammy Award.
Oh, okay.
It is no longer in the case. It is just right here for all the world to see.
Nice. Love it.
I finally have proper trophy placement.
So bear with me. We got a little bit of. Put a picture in the Slack of our setup here, and I meant to do this next week. We want to be in Ann Arbor, and I am every year in Ann Arbor for the second week of June, and we try to do a live show, and we try to do both this and Awesome Cast. But I got here, I realized the time frame. I realized that AEW was on at 5 o'clock on the television. Like there wasn't a West Coast feed. It was the East Coast feed that was on here. So let's do this. I got a whole evening ahead of me. See, there's sunlight coming in the window. This is freaking weird, Mike.
And Sorg, I'm actually staring out a window. Granted, it's dark out, and all it is my backyard.
Yeah, you're definitely backlit. We're going to have to work on your lighting situation there. So,
yeah, I don't exactly know how I'm going to fix that because it's an LED up there, but we'll figure it out. Like I said, this is beta.
Yeah,
this is the beta version
Mike.
of the
Beta Man Mike.
Yeah.
Beta Man Mike Cave. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can check out everything on WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can get us up a good time.
Angling it down, have good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. We're checking that delay. It's pretty good for, like, we're actually running the show on about at least 3, if not 4 different internet connections. So, yeah, we're using LiveView that I'm usually reserved for our I have it with me for our awards for our corporate clients and everything this weekend, and we got some big stuff. And it's what we've used. This is the same box that we've used for New Japan pay-per-views. So, yes.
Okay then.
So a little bit
Fancy.
going with that.
Fancy schmancy.
So you can hit us up on the social medias. Of course, we have a great Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group. Of course, my new buddy that I met out in Las Vegas yesterday, Ice Williams, because wrestlers are everywhere, Mike. I don't know if you saw my post over there on the group or the Discord for Wrestling Mayhem Show. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit here in the show. And hopefully we're going to have a drop in as well from somebody. Also, let's see. We have the Discord and Reddit, like I mentioned. And we are typically live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It is now Wednesday, a little bit after 10 p.m. Eastern Time. 7-Eleven. This is what it's like for Tina. Wow, I just got some Robin and Grubhub to me. I ate. I finished watching the AEW, and here I am with you. I'm like, wow, this is wow. You West Coasters got it going on, and your shows and your pay-per-views end at like 9 p.m. and I can go wander.
You know why West Coasters also have it good? When new things drop on Disney Plus, they don't have to wait till 3 in the fucking morning to watch them.
It's a midnight drop, baby. I like it.
The midnight drop.
Yes. Okay, so thank you to our Patreon supporters, our friends at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Probably won't have much extra this week or next week since we're great strides just trying to get the show broadcast and recorded at this point, to be quite honest. But thank you to our friends at the fan show level. Bo Diggity!
Woo!
Oh, I should put it on me. As well as Ed Burke, Team Hammer Fist, and Bobby F. J. Town. Thank you at the Pop Club level. Dave Propoff, founder, spouse of Roost Jewelry Affair at rosejewelryaffair.com, and Rats in a Trenchcoat, Tony Kincaid. Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy and The Riz, and at the 20 manager level, Bradley, who, you know. Bradley! So I actually got to hang out last Wednesday with Bradley. There was a watch party for Lady Frost's debut on AEW. She took on Taya Valkyrie. But that we were actually at Victor Benjamin's uncle's bar in the Brookline pub over there in Brookline, PA. The Brookline neighborhood of Pittsburgh, which is just a hill over from where we're at, by the way, Mike. So that was really cool to go hang out there and see everybody get going off about that, and also everybody's reaction from Sabu showing up, of all things. So I think a little disclaimer.
Yeah, still don't know why that happened.
It's kind of a why not at this point, but okay. So
I guess. Okay.
A little disclaimer, I've mostly watched nothing but AEW for obvious reasons, which we'll get into in a moment. But I did watch up through the Asuka Bianca match from Saturday.
It's okay. I saw everything stored. You know me.
Okay, you'll fill me in on it. Maybe we'll see about who had the better weekend out of this. So, but yeah, I don't.
Oh, out of me and you had the better weekend.
No, yeah. I did hang out.
I was lifting boxes and bins all weekend. My weekend was long and arduous. It was not holiday weekend for me.
Mine was, well, I worked. Technically, I did 4 days of wrestles because I did the T2T show down there at 880 in New Ken. We did the Family Ties show Friday night, and then I went to Erie for the first Revenge Pro show at the new venue. What's that? What?
No, Family Ties. La, 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 la.
Thank you. That's what I was missing. I'm like, there's a thing that goes with this. But fun shows all around, obviously. They had over 700 people at the new venue for Revenge.
Wow. That's very good.
I think they would typically get about 4.
Wow. Okay.
It was a lot more space. It's not downtown where you have to pay for parking and figure all that crap out. It's not in the bar district. It's in a sports center on the fringe of town, just off of I-90. So it was a pretty cool setup. It was good to see that show. Very good show. I still need to finish putting the a couple. I gotta get a couple videos off of them and everything. So, but hopefully I'll be happy later this evening since I got so much time on the West Coast, right, Mike? So.
Yeah, and I have all the time in the world because I have off tomorrow, Sorg.
Yes. So
do you know why I have off tomorrow, Sorg?
Why is that?
Flip, motherfucker.
Oh, you took the day off for Spider-Man. I don't even think I'm going to be able to see it until like next week at this point.
Sorg,
I was this close to
am
going to see
ready.
Little Mermaid today.
I am ready. I have
no.
my Peter B. Parker. Just because I'm in a new space doesn't mean I'm not gonna have toys at the ready.
Yeah, you got toys.
I'm all set.
I hadn't seen those Spider-Verse toys like that. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, the little Miles one.
The Miles is great.
Yeah.
Are those like targets? Or are they NECAs? Or what are those?
No, these are just the standard action figures.
Okay.
For the first movie, anyway.
Nice.
I didn't get any for the second one yet.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a whole collection of Spider-Man.
Oh, Sorg. There's I still haven't figured out where I'm putting everything yet. But I do have my Universal Championship displayed.
Are you
up there?
Universal Championship. Are you no longer an attic dweller? Is this a basement?
I am a basement dweller.
Nice. Oh,
I'm a
just
basement
like the
dweller.
old school Mayhem studio.
Yeah, and guess what? It's not my mom's house. It's my house.
Well, even though the last place wasn't your mom's house either, but you know.
No, it wasn't. But I've been in the attic in my mom's house before.
Yes.
Just so people aren't like, oh, look, podcasting from a basement. Yeah, it's my house, motherfucker.
But it's my basement. It's like, because we always got those comments before. I'm like, joke's on you. I own this basement. So
yeah, exactly. I own this basement too.
It feels good. It feels good. Anyways, so we have somebody else dropping in. I want to wait till they do. Hold on a second.
I'm
Mike,
terrified to see who this is. I don't know who this is. This is a surprise.
Well, Mike, before why don't you tell me? Did you watch Double or Nothing?
Of course.
As a whole, okay. First, tell me your general thoughts of it. And I want to see if somebody can get in here with us. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I thought Double or Nothing was a pretty good show. It got way better once JR got off commentary.
I'll
say that.
I saw it live, so I didn't know when he left.
Yeah. I forget which match he dipped out on, but the latter ends of the show were much better than the earlier aspects of the show. But it was a fun show. I thought like it was. I feel bad for Taya because Taya and Jade had a really good match, and I thought Taya kind of got the short shrift for the return of Statlander because, and I'm happy for Statlander. Like, that's great. I'm just glad Jade fucking lost. I just kind of wish it was Taya as opposed to a returning Statlander with no build at all. And, I just thought that was an odd decision.
It sounds like they were kind of picking up where they left off, right? With things. So, I mean,
but if that's the case, then why, like, have Jade do an open challenge?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless they just wanted to get her to 60, and even then, that's
could be time.
Really still kind of
when they were stacking wins and stopped at 59, that told you something.
But they were doing that with jobbers, not with Taya Valkyrie.
Right.
I just didn't.
Well,
because I'm a Lucha fan, I didn't like that for Taya.
Oh,
Taya's beaten Brian. Taya's beaten Brian fucking Cage.
But Taya is not done. You saw tonight they had her monitor looking with Statlander, which that's gonna be tremendous. Yeah. I'm wondering if honestly we don't know. Does Jade need to leave because of one thing or another, personal, physical, or otherwise? And there's an idea that, and I think our guest that's popping in here has a theory about Chris Statlander basically picking up where they left off.
Oh boy,
is he with us?
Here we go.
Is he with us?
I see who it is.
Hold
on. He's representing. Because I'll represent it too, motherfucker.
Oh, throwing up the Lucha Underground. Okay.
Oh, it's Wednesday. It is the midweek war, technically.
It's a midweek war.
It's the big skirmish.
Matt Carlins joining us. Hello, sir.
Hey, how's it going? What's up, boys?
How you doing, Matt?
Glad you
Good.
made it back
How
to
are you?
Pittsburgh.
I did successfully got back from Vegas, and we had a great time. I really enjoyed hanging out with you, Sorgi.
Well,
I got this sweet shirt before I skipped town. This is awesome too. So we had a great old time.
you got to be in Las Vegas when they won the conference. Although you were not at the game when you guys were the bad luck there.
Bad luck charms.
I'm sorry. What's this? We were the bad luck. I'm sorry, Sorg. My wife was the bad luck charm. I had nothing to do with it. I was an innocent bystander.
Oh,
Just
man.
trying
And
to
also-
enjoy a
and-
nice little hockey game.
And once again, thank you so much for inviting us along with the hookup with the tickets here. It was a lot of fun. It worked out really well. Like I said, I had to be in Portland, and I was like, hey, we'll drop in and spend a couple days in Vegas. And man, we had a blast.
But hold on. We've a question from the chat room for our friend in the mainstream media. David Podnier Jr. asks, Matt, do you consider yourself one of the best wrestling journalists in the world?
Best? How many do you think qualify as the best? Like, how many? Give me a number. Like, how many do you
I'd
think
say
deserve to be in
top
that
10,
top
top
10?
Between
Top 10.
you,
Nah.
Meltzer, Alvarez, and Houseman.
Nah, yeah, Pollock. Oh man, PW Insider got Mike Johnson. Great guy, great work he does. There's a lot of solid pro wrestling journalists out there. But there's a lot of other people out there too.
So
And I
the
am one
reason-
of them.
The reason we're talking about this, for those that didn't know, maybe you're not in a group, maybe you didn't see the shares or anything. Matt got credentialed this weekend in Las Vegas.
Not the first time in Vegas.
Okay.
Not the first time I've ever been credentialed for a professional wrestling event.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a little special because this was the first time that I was credentialed to the level that I was invited to the post-show scrum, the legendary post AEW pay-per-view media scrums, and yeah, I was in there. I was in it, Sorgi, right there in that room, with a wide variety of individuals with whom which I shared that room for what felt like 3 or 4 hours. It was a long time in there.
Yeah, I have a question, Matt. Just
Yeah.
did you get to see the end of the show, and then were you guys like ushered into the post media scrum room, or how'd that work? I'm just genuinely
No,
curious.
They have they have the credentialed media, or kind of most of them are provided comp tickets into a specific section.
Okay,
So most of the credentialed media were sitting together. Not all of us. Some of them were on the floor. I
kind of
think
like
they
where
might
we
have-
were for Mania.
a little lower,
Okay,
but we were in an arena instead of a giant football stadium also. So
yeah, that's true.
basically after the main event ended, I was just kind of lingering there waiting to see if somebody would grab a microphone. Tony Khan likes to come out and yell at the crowd sometimes after the shows to see if anyone was going to say anything, but people were starting to whisk themselves away back up to the elevator. And they had their media team were up there at the top of the section just waiting for us, probably assuming that we would do what we did do, or at least what I did, which is get to the top of the section, look around, very lost, not 100% sure where I was going, but there were a couple people there doing your favorite move, Sorg, the young lion, directing you back to the locker room after you take the L at a New Japan show. Yeah,
arm
doing this
out.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, doing this thing. Not quite that, but yeah.
I do it to Missy sometimes, guiding her through a door, and she hates it.
Yeah, and they just they whisked us down an elevator, and there was a room relatively close to the elevator. We ducked through like a small corridor of the backstage. So you saw a few familiar faces back there, but nothing to get everyone
And
just back there doing their business, and before you know it, we're in the room and we're
Matt,
settling in.
I have one final question about the scrum. How did the scrum smell?
It was a neutral smell, Mike. I'm
Okay.
happy to say. And you know what? We were at a wrestling event, so that's a win.
I know that's I
so-
wanted to ask because we
On-
always have
I
this
didn't really
question.
note any. I didn't really take note of any smell, which usually means either yes, a neutral smell, or I was the one who smelled. I'm not sure. I think I was all right. The pay-per-view didn't make me too sweaty. I think I was doing all right. So
That's good. That's good. And you asked
yeah.
two of the most important questions of the night in the scrum.
I asked one decent question and one question that I just wanted to get out of the way because I wanted to ask a question. Because you want to get that first question out of the way. So, you know what though, I liked my two questions, and I felt like question wise, I felt like we did a good job. The assembled media did a good job sharing the microphone a little bit.
You asked Orange Cassidy if he considers himself one of the best in the world, and I didn't get to listen because we were wandering the Las Vegas Strip, just waiting for you guys because our digital key didn't work, so to the hotel room. And so we're just checking in, and we're just like, Tony's still talking. So it was great because I tuned in right when one of your questions, but then later after we got back to the room, I found that your Orange Cassidy question was going viral.
Yeah, so I think I'm trying to think of who else came into the room now off the top of my head, but I think Orange was the first babyface to come into the room.
Mm-hmm.
And Max
MJF,
was first.
Tony Storm.
MJF was first, and he was just doing shtick. It's very interesting because there's members of the media who just don't want anything to do with the wrestlers doing their wrestler shtick during the scrums, and then there are others who are more than happy to jump in and do the shtick and take the abuse. I'm not interested in taking the abuse, so I would rather ask a hopefully reasonably good question to someone to try to get some interesting insights. So yeah, I mean, look, I've seen this is very anecdotal, but I was seeing a lot of chatter over the recent weeks that people think that Orange Cassidy's a Wrestler of the Year candidate at this point. He's having a heck of a run with that title. He's putting on great matches almost every week. He's doing great stuff. I think he's in the discussion for Wrestler of the Year. So I tried to keep my question very simple and just asked him directly what he thought. And I think he showed a lot of humility.
Absolutely.
You got more emotion out of Orange Cassidy than most of the other questions. So
Yeah, basically.
Well, anytime you're asking, no, not even close. Which I like that answer, and he did give a big crack. I got a smile out of them. Does that count for anything?
That's what I'm saying.
Very affable in that post show scrum. I thought he was a lot of fun. He was at least entertaining, and fun to watch, doing his thing. When you're asking Orange Cassidy a question, you're playing for second place because the greatest question has already been asked to Orange Cassidy, and it was years ago. He was interviewed by a child, and this is probably pre-AEW. Do you know about this, Mad Mike?
No, I don't.
Okay, he was being interviewed by a child, and the child asked him why he named himself Orange Cassidy and not Banana Cassidy or Apple Cassidy, and Orange is like holding it, because he's like, I'm pretty sure this is pre-AEW, so he's still like deep, he's deep into the character, and he's trying, and he just kind of goes, I don't know. And then he just kind of like, trying not to crack up. It's hilarious. I don't know where you can find it, but that's the best question I've ever seen anyone ask Orange Cassidy.
Love it.
Right. Everyone else is playing for second. The later question for Tony, I was very excited to ask Tony a hard-hitting business question, and I got to ask him a question about the expectations for the TV ratings for Collision. And I thought Tony gave. I
think his response was in his announcement tonight.
I think he gave a more direct answer than I thought he was going to. He gave us a number to look toward, and I haven't had a chance to look up that myself, basically. But he basically said, look at the Dynamites that ran on Saturdays, and when those numbers peaked for Dynamites on Saturdays, and basically that's what we're aiming for. So. If you're a ratings nerd and you've got those numbers, go look that up and see what you can find out.
And that kind of lends into the conversation that Mike and I have been having for weeks about, like, hey, why be on Saturday? It can't be anywhere near what Wednesday's going to look because there's so much competition, right? And I think the answer is exactly what you got out of him. Is like, well, the numbers that they got for Dynamites are great for TNT. They're happy with it, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not, the ratings nerds are comparing it to Raw, SmackDown on different things with the brand. AEW doesn't need to get those ratings.
No, so I don't.
I mean,
no,
let's
when I'm
look at
talking about Saturdays, I'm not talking about ratings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about now you're actively going up against pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that doesn't happen every week, but it's between pay-per-views, between college football, and any other major nighttime sporting event. It's hard to do week to week. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm sure the first week will be like a ratings bonanza, but it's once WWE has Money in the Bank, how are the ratings for AEW going to do against Money in the Bank?
It's going to be so interesting to see like how that.
I mean, Money in the Bank,
out.
actually, they get kind of a pass because it's in the UK, so it's going to be earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it won't be head to head.
I mean, it's going to
SummerSlam.
happen. They're going to have to go head to head.
Yeah.
But there's we're in an environment now when it comes to pro wrestling on TV where there's nowhere to hide anymore. There's no open slots. Like every night of the week is just piling up
If
wrestling.
the writer's
now.
strike keeps going.
Yes.
there'll be
Yeah,
plenty of open
and
spots.
what a great time to put more wrestling out when there was a writer's strike, right?
I mean, Impact Wrestling continues to run a lot of their, at least their Impact Plus events on Friday nights, like directly opposite SmackDown, which sounds dumb, but they keep doing it. So it must be working. But that also tells you, well, they're not doing this on Saturdays. So maybe that tells you something there also. We're really looking at, I mean, when's the last time a pro wrestling company really tried to do something on national television on Saturday night for a weekly program? There's really not been any
Saturday
show
night's
since
main event.
WCW was doing, Saturday night. WCW Saturday night was running, 605s on Saturdays on TBS. I mean, yeah, that's national TV. I don't recall ever seeing anything about the ratings for that or how many people were watching, but it was a heck of a long time ago. You have to go before the launch of Nitro to find, when that was anything close to an A show, because once Nitro launched, Saturday night became, something else.
Yep.
So, we'll see what happens. But Phil from Chicago's coming back, Sorg.
Collision Man Punk.
And that's interesting tonight, and I was talking to some of my colleagues about, kind of like why did he announce it now? And because we gotta fill these arenas for Collision, Sorg, and I don't think it's as much. My feeling was that it's, from the outside looking in, is that this has less to do with the United Center, which is already creeping close to 10,000 if you're looking at some of the reports on the ticket sales, and it's got a lot more to do with that swing through Canada, where some of the ticket sales were pretty dire. I think Hamilton was like still in the triple digits, still in the three digits when it came to the ticket sales. We got to goose this thing, and we'll see what impact Punk can have on it. That's a lot of pressure. He's not fresh out of the box after a 7-year layoff. He's only been gone for
is he
less than a year.
Is he physically able to wrestle?
Was he injured
What do you
after
have,
that
a torn
last one?
bicep?
He was injured, yeah.
He had a torn bicep. So yeah, I mean, how long did it take Cody to get back? Cody was back in less than a year.
No, Cody had a
Ice Cream
torn
Punk is
pec.
back.
Cody had a torn pec.
Torn bicep. I mean,
But Cody was on the shelf
injuries.
for like 9 months.
yeah. I mean, maybe Punk has been ready to go 4 weeks at this point, and they've been holding off on this because they want to make him part of the launch of this new show.
Who's to say he's even going to do anything physical for the first few weeks?
Yeah, he might come out there and talk, or he might wrestle on the first show. You don't know what's going to happen at this point.
According to Dr. Google, it takes about 3 to 4 months for bicep muscle to heal.
There you go.
Well past that.
Yeah.
Because we were talking, back in September, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Early
playing time.
September. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting, and you know what? That's one of the reasons a lot of people are going to watch. Tell me how it is.
I mean,
Phil.
I'm not-
You love him or
I'm
hate
not
him.
too
You want to
worried
see what
about-
he has to say.
I'm not as worried about Phil's physical. I love that we call him Phil like a bunch of dumbasses. I love that.
I called him Punk. You guys are calling him Phil.
Phil from Chicago, old Phil. Phil this, Phil that. My fear was that I would get into
Phil Connors.
my fear is that I'll end up in a post-show scrum and I'll inadvertently call him Phil by accident, because that's all I ever do is call him
And this
Phil.
is why you're never
which I
going to
shouldn't
ask
be
Punk
doing.
a question, right?
Oh no.
No, I'm totally
You
gonna
have
ask
to.
him a
You
question.
have to now.
I have that. You have to. Like, oh yeah, like heck, when I was in that scrum, I was like,
I will say,
if I don't ask questions now, I can never, ever critique what happens in this room ever again. I've got to ask questions. I have to do it.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't ask Tony why there aren't 2 women's matches on Dynamite. I'm a little disappointed.
When you get credentialed, you can get into the room and then you can ask him yourself.
I don't think that's going to happen for a very, very long
By the way,
time.
there were 2 matches involving women on tonight's Dynamite. By the way, Matt, Mike.
Yes, because the only time they can double book women is when there's a mixed tag involved.
I think
It's happened exactly 2 other times.
I think this is what the company is. I think this talking point has been beaten to death.
Yeah, no, I just
okay.
I'm
So
just saying you had
you
a
agree
chance.
that this talking point has been beaten to death, and this is what this company is.
Yeah, now
If
it's
you
going
would
to be
like-
how many matches.
Okay.
If you would, no, I'm not done with them, Sorg.
Okay.
And if you want more women's wrestling, I can point you toward companies that are putting on more women's wrestling, and you can watch them.
NXT.
There you go. You can watch them.
NXT,
and they're-
Impact.
okay.
Wow. I mean, they're out there. Matt.
Yeah.
You asked the billionaire a question.
Yeah. What about it? Did you notice that we were having a staring contest when he answered it? It was weird for a
I
minute.
think that's just how he looks.
Yeah, he was like staring right at me.
Matt, you were in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was like,
There's a lot going on in Vegas.
He didn't
there's a lot
seem
going on.
quite as he didn't have the energy level he did in Pittsburgh though. I don't think it kicked in yet.
he seemed very chill, and seemed very relaxed, seemed very chilled, and like I said, it's hard for me to gauge because that was the first time I've been in one of those, so yeah, it was fine. Very polite, everyone was polite except for MJF and Tony Storm. She was.
Well, he was polite for him.
He was pretty polite for.
He
MJF.
didn't talk while answering questions this time.
I mean, he has to insult. If you ask a question, he shows his gratitude by just delivering a brutal insult right at you, and that's his way of thanking you for the question. And then he goes on to whatever he's got to say about it. It gets to it does get a little awkward because you don't want to be a prop. At least I don't want to be a prop. Maybe some people want to.
Dave Ponder says Tony blinked multiple times during the announcement tonight.
Can we get a blink count? Can we get a blink count?
Oh, we have to.
Tony
Yeah,
Khan?
we have to get a. We have to get a blink count going.
This scrum 3.
3 blinks.
3 blinks. 3 blinks and out. All right. So, Matt Carlins, you survived the Tony Khan staring contest.
Mm-hmm. Would love to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if I get that opportunity. But yeah, no problems.
Let's go to the show.
Nice to do.
Obviously-
Was nice to be in there.
Obviously, we saw the show from the stands, the lens of being in the stands versus Mike saw it with full commentary. Like, I didn't even know that JR had left halfway through the show. But one big thing that kind of swapped up that surprised me was the commentary was ringside, which I don't remember that happening before with AEW.
Yeah, no, I that's the first time I remember seeing it like that. It was a nice change of pace, but it still always baffles me. Like, I forget which match they were complaining that they only have one monitor. I'm like, it's right in front of you. You don't need a monitor.
No. You need to No. That's a very specific thing. You do need to commentate towards the monitor, because you are commenting on the things that the audience is seeing at home.
Okay, but they're also staring at the Titantron.
That does not play. Does not play the match.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
No. If you're down and you don't see the overhead,
there are no Titantrons in AEW, Mad Mike.
No.
So I'm just letting you.
No. Now they did
giant video boards. Excuse me.
Yes. Well, they did. During the Anarchy match, they put video up on the lower videos.
Okay.
Wall. So, like the ones on either side of the band there, started playing it, since it was everywhere, and then people down in the audience wouldn't be able to see, so they ended up putting it over there for a little bit. So you can probably see that when they start going over the ramp. Mm-hmm.
Tina says the last time they had commentary at ringside was Fyter Fest 2019.
Fyter Fest, wow, that's before Dynamite, right?
Wow, I thought it had never happened. So,
that's in the before
kudos
times.
To Tina for remembering.
Long
kudos to Tina for remembering Fyter Fest 2019.
Is that a Daily's Place event? Probably.
That was one of the very
was
first...
that when Joey Janela wrestled the barrel?
Probably.
No.
Hold on.
That was back when they that was like pre-Dynamite, right?
Yeah,
when they were doing Fyter Fest, and
it was a weird free show they put out. It was just kind of a nice taste of what's coming up. I
think it was when Joey Janela wrestled the barrel. The main event was Joey Janela versus Jon Moxley, and I'm pretty sure he used the barrel.
Okay.
I thought I remembered that accurately.
Matt, vibes from being in the arena, you had a little bit closer seats than I did.
I thought as far as the crowd, it was interesting because I thought it was a really good crowd, and it also was one of those crowds, every crowd seems to lull at some point during a show. This one didn't seem to lull from where I was sitting. It just felt like they were just they were straight on, especially through the middle of the card where you would expect it. They just kind of kept going, and they were steady on. So I thought the energy was good. The show didn't feel overly long. And I think as far as what was the hottest in the building, the Battle Royal was the hottest thing in the building.
Yeah.
I thought. Before Anarchy in the arena. But that was a different kind of, hysterics in that one. That's more like hysterics, where the Battle Royal was more the traditional wrestling. This is exciting. We're into this kind of a match. I thought all the reactions were good. I know it didn't come across great on TV because I've seen people talking about it, but in the arena it felt fine. And I was talking to some of the media folks about it afterwards, and they're just I've never seen a bad show live, and I'm like, yep, I totally agree. When you're in the arena, it's never bad.
Yep. Yep.
Here we are, 150 years into whatever or however many years we're into the history of professional wrestling. We've yet to correctly bottle that feeling of being in the arena and properly project it onto into a home viewing experience, because it is always so much better in the arena. It always sounds better.
Well, even the Puerto Rico show, which sound bonkers, right? It sounded bonkers, but it didn't sound like a loud crowd. It sounded like all the mics were peaked. It was wild. And that's something that we've dealt with a bit too. With Defy, it was how do you capture that crazy room up in Washington Hall, right? Warrior was another thing that we worked with, and it just crank it up until it's right under the commentary.
I will say,
I don't know if it's. I don't know if it could be any more challenging to mic audio wise than pro wrestling. It just seems to be like a puzzle that just cannot be solved by what are typically some of the better TV production people in the business, but it's tough, man.
Nothing is
at the level arena. You and I are doing stuff too, where it's really hard. So
there's never going to be anything like being in the arena when it's happening. There's nothing like being at WrestleMania, being at Washington Hall, being at ECW Arena, being at West Newton Gymnasium, right? There's only so much you can do to show that off.
What we need?
But you could show glimmers of it to make them want to be there, right? I mean, you're seeing everybody having a good time. You're seeing all this kind of stuff. And then you get to be there, and then you just get hooked into it. It's just like, it's just like, I never thought this song in this moment. First time I saw In This Moment was The Gathering of the Juggalos, and they just blew me away. If I just heard those songs, I probably wouldn't give a shit, right? But every time I hear those songs, I think of that moment, when I saw them, right? You know, every time you watch AEW and you see the crowd, you know it's not coming across, but you know what that crowd sounds like in person, right?
I mean, wrestling is a band that's always better live than they are, you know,
Yes.
in a recording studio. So
We need like a Nicole Kidman video about someone being in a live arena for wrestling.
I love it.
That's what we need. We need like a representative for wrestling just to be sitting in an empty crowd and talking wistfully about the feeling of being in a live arena.
Sometimes body slams pay. Sometimes I gotta echo. Sometimes body slams feel good in a place like this. Sorry, I go to AMC, so I see that video so many freaking times.
Sometimes chanting "you fucked up" alone by yourself just doesn't have the same ring to it.
If you're sitting at home by yourself chanting "you fucked up," I don't know. We got to explore that deeper at some point. There, we'll talk to our friends at Fisher.
Oh, Sorg, I've seen that happen. We've been to many watch parties.
I've seen it at bars.
I've seen it all at the watch party. I've seen people I've seen matches break out in the room or in the living room where we've been watching the wrestling, and guys get like bored with the show and just start putting each other through the tray tables and yeah, it's out of hand. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Tina has a question for you guys who were in the arena. Can we get comments about the peanut gallery commenting on empty sections of the show? Pat McAfee touched on it. Apparently there were
because there's a shot.
I mean, he wasn't.
Anybody taking a picture from Hardcam's side has that other side, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, hard camera side, you're always going to have at least
and also,
on most shows.
Half of that section was taped off for cameras. Like, they gave them a lot of space. And there wasn't a lot of fill-in around there. But, I mean, no, was it a full arena? No, they even had tarped off the front side of the upper bowl. And I don't know what it looks like typically in Las Vegas for these shows. So,
well, Vegas is, unless you're UFC, Vegas is a hard nut to crack.
Oh, yeah. You're literally... Man, I was
that's
astonished how many shows are happening the same night down there.
Plus, wasn't that the same night the Golden Knights were playing, or no?
No, they were not playing. They played on Saturday night and Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the arena, which means they had to set up the entire set that morning.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, just to touch on what you guys talked about, the Anarchy in the Arena match, until they all got back in the ring, it was awful to watch.
Oh, and we were watching the monitor.
Just terrible.
We're watching the monitor. We're watching like big things happening that we're definitely not making on TV. So
just terrible to watch.
I can tell you logistically, as a video professional, I do not envy that job as a video person.
Oh yeah, no.
It is a mess, and they're all going at it. But I think, like, to a certain point, I think that's the point, right?
Well, it is called Anarchy in the Arena.
Right.
It's not called well-organized camera shots in the arena.
And it's like, we have this thing when we do matches, like we did a ladder match Saturday night, right, where everybody split out, and we only had one ringside camera because that's just what we booked for this one. We have the company, and it's just like, it was like, yeah, everybody dumped out, and then I got this guy, then I got this guy. Yeah, it looks like a fucking mess. That's perfect. It's basically the thing. When I have 7 luchadors in a match, good fucking luck with 2 camera people. Okay? And they have what they have, and they don't have as many cameras as WWE, but also you have a person that has to make sense of what they're seeing and prioritize. Like, it's the hardest thing to say, okay, this person's getting run into the post. This guy's about to get hit by a chair on the other side of the ring. All right, let's try to get this impact and pop over before this guy swings. Now you got 4 pair-offs? Fuck me. It is tough. And they're not coordinating spots or anything. They can't see each other to even attempt to do that. So it is an absolute mess until you get to certain spots in the ring and everything. Then they kind of coalesce around one narrative, right? But I think it's the symptom and the sickness, isn't it, of those kinds of matches?
Yeah, I mean it's just those matches typically are for the live crowd. At least until you get towards the finish.
Sure.
Towards the finish, and
Sure.
you have to get back in the ring. Yeah, I do think it takes a little bit of steam out of the show when you main event that.
As MJF said, a bird almost came out my window. That was crazy. I mean, as MJF said, do you want me to roll around in Moxley's blood?
No, he said he didn't want to roll around John Moxley.
And it's when we saw that they were doing the championship match, and I'm like, my God, this ring isn't going to exist at the end of this thing, right? And a little bit, they were tearing a lot of stuff apart. They really were. Plus, there was pyro. Plus, there were tacks. Mm-hmm. Plus, there was this. You want to follow that up with a 4-way wrestling match? Like, no, that it needs to escalate to that the way that they had set it up. And I think that actually was a lot smarter than putting the championship
I know, but like for the live crowd, yeah, sure. Absolutely. For TV, it takes a lot of steam out of the show you're watching because it's literally impossible to follow the match until they get back into the
Are you going to remember all the stuff that didn't follow, or are you going to remember tacks in the foot and the exploding super kick? Right? Like, what are you really going to get out of that match?
I don't know. I would have liked to see how some of that stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there was one point where Claudio was swinging someone in the concession stand. Like, I want to see how we got there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm a Claudio mark. Guilty, but still,
can I just
like,
have a Claudio cam? Maybe that's what they need to sell when they do these matches. Like, can I just have like there's a NASCAR thing where you can flip the channel to the camera.
I would love that
in a car, right? Like, can I just get the Claudio camera and the Moxley camera, and it's like Red Zone for Anarchy in the Arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
I thought the stuff with Claudio was like. Because it was like this in the arena too, where like they would show you Claudio and Matt Jackson like up in the concession area, and then they would go away from it. Yeah. So I think the point was that I think they were just. I think that was one of the few things that was very premeditated and plotted out beforehand. That we're going to be like, you guys are going to go up the steps, then we're going to go to you and you'll be swinging them, and then we'll go away from you, and then we'll come back to you and you'll be doing this. So I think that was by design. Now maybe it didn't work for the home viewers, but even in the arena, it was kind of amusing in the arena because you would just be sitting there and you'd be like wondering like, wonder what Claudio's doing right now, and then they flip the screen back and there Claudio's out in the truck, dropping somebody in there. Sorg, do you think it was a big missed opportunity that Matt Jackson didn't drive the truck back into the arena?
I kept saying he's going to drive the truck back in. Yeah, no,
he should have done the Stone Cold thing back into the arena. Yeah.
It happened, and Missy and I are sitting there like, where are they going to drive the truck into? Because that's the obvious thing, and then they went and did something else, which I think is a little smarter.
That's Chekhov's truck.
Chekhov's truck. Yes. Chekhov's super kick, maybe.
Good misdirect. Yeah.
Yes. I want to roll
Did
back.
either of you get a chance to watch Night of Champions?
So, like I say, I watched the first half of it.
Right, okay.
Matt, did you have any opportunity?
I have seen nothing. I'm going to have a big catch-up day tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get around.
Have you guys heard what happened?
I do know what happened.
We saw clips. We saw Twitter clips.
Okay. All right, so let me tell you my Night of Champions viewing experience, because it was happening while I was moving. So I had Night of Champions on for the first 3 matches while we were settling in and everything. So I got to see everything up to Asuka, and then I caught up with the rest of it later. But I while we were cleaning out my old house, my wife and sister-in-law were vacuuming, and with my dust allergy, they didn't want me anywhere near there. So I'm sitting outside the house, and I'm like, let's just see where we're at in the old Night of Champions pay-per-view. So I pull up my Peacock on my phone, and it's right at the point where the Usos come in. I'm like, this is what we came to see. So I got to see it live, and I'm sitting there like a fucking goober outside my house on the street, just going like, oh shit, no, we didn't. Like, just really, really fucking good. Like, every time you don't think there's more juice they can squeeze out of this Bloodline storyline, there's another ring. There's another ring, and just more juice comes out of it. Like, it's so
I think that's a
impressive.
beautiful thing about the Night of Champions show and Double or Nothing, and there's some stuff that I've been seeing from NXT as well. I also intend to watch this week. Like,
you will both enjoy Dragunov versus Dijak.
That's what I think it's that match of the year or something, candidate or something like that. I'm excited for that. Like, everything delivered moments, right? Even if you picked the other show, you heard about the other show, right? And everybody was in full swing this weekend, and I saw Tyler Bate airplane spinning and doing a swing on somebody at the same time.
Yep.
I saw the mad spear Braun pulled off. It's just wild stuff. So no, everybody is delivering. My only thing is, I would have caught up by now, but they don't allow the downloads yet of the replays. Like, you can get WrestleMania from last month, but they haven't like there's a time, like I think they have a window before they allow it or something like that.
Yeah, it's a timing thing.
It's like a week or something like that, probably.
Yeah.
Because I had long ass flights. I would have loved to, I would have watched the entire show on my flight from Pittsburgh to Vegas if I was able to, for instance. So, oh well, they'll get to it when we get to it. So no real rush on anything. So, like, any other highlights from that, Mike, that we should be looking out for?
Asuka. Oh my god,
Asuka is great. I see people
Asuka
crying about
Bianca
Bianca
match
losing her belt, but this is the Asuka that was needed to take it.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. And the way it happened too, like, not the traditional mist, but the mist into the hand and then the raking of the eyes. Just chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And they even called out in commentary it's a great Muda move, which fucking works for me. If we're gonna turn Asuka into the female version of Great Muda, sign me the fuck up. Because I am down. And plus, this will give SmackDown's women's division a much needed shot in the arm.
Yes.
And plus, if Asuka's a heel now, guess what, guys? Io might be turning face. That might be your big match coming up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Yeah. So we're
NXT Battleground was very good. For those of you who haven't watched Battleground, highly recommend it. Just a lot of fun overall. Like, the Dragunov Dijak match. It's such a weird story. It's like a punishment fetish almost. It's a very odd story, but
very Lucha Underground, don't you think?
It's basically, actually, it's kind of their version of Penta and Vampiro almost. Very similar. Now that I think about it, yeah. But
I like it.
Oh, Alex Miller also says AJ versus Seth. Because that's how you open a fucking show. Jesus, really good. When I saw AJ Kim set that X-Plex on the apron, my back hurt for 10 minutes.
Hey, it's amazing when you just put together baller shows like that, right? So, I mean, even just looking at the lineup, there was almost no slouches, and the only one that I thought was a slouch turned up to be a squash, anyways. So, with Natalia.
Oh
and,
yeah, Rhea Natty.
So,
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the pictures of Dom laughing at her. It's just great
Dominic,
stuff.
that
Great
man
fun.
is worth his weight in gold.
Absolutely.
Worth his weight in gold.
Well, I don't want to get too much because I figure we'll kind of catch up with WWE and stuff next week after we catch up and have a more proper show. It'll be in a hotel room again in a different location. I got a hotel room across the street because I don't want to stay with all the students. But before we get to our usual show close, Matt, what did you learn from Las Vegas?
Sorg, I forgot what I learned. I think did I tell you what I learned
from Las Vegas
while we were there?
Was it
what
the
did I
part about
learn
trash
from Las
cans?
Vegas or what?
Did you learn always bet on black?
No, I'm the first person to go to Las Vegas and not gamble a cent.
No, you're the second.
I escaped without gambling. I'm the second person to escape Las Vegas without gambling, and which is crazy because I intended to, but I never got a chance.
You stayed.
What did I learn? You know what I learned in Vegas? The Golden Knights pregame festivities. The best shit ever. The Penguins now officially suck. Their home arena sucks. Their in-game presentation sucks. The Golden Knights mop the floor with them. They'll never touch it. It's like watching medieval times live. It's amazing. Mad Mike, I don't know how more to tell you. The whole thing is such a show. Hockey on goddamn steroids. It's like got all the worst, all the worst instincts of professional wrestling are on display at the Vegas Golden Knights hockey game, Mike.
I tell you what,
the last 5 minutes of the third period, the last 5 minutes of the second intermission, the Golden Knights mascot turns down all the house lights and have a rave for 5 minutes while they warm up for the third period.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and man, what a scene. Golden Knights hockey, Mad Mike, and they still love Fleury out there. A lot of Fleury.
Of course they do.
Still out there.
How can you not love Fleury?
How can you not love Flowers?
They love their
Even
sport
Sorg
so
loves
much in
Flower.
Vegas.
He doesn't even know what sport we're talking about, but he loves Flower.
Sorg gets a sports puck.
I had a phase.
Puckball. It's called puckball, Sorg.
Yes,
Puck
I went
ball.
with the Penguins game with Chachi once, so I got that in.
Sorry. Next time we should take you to a hockey game where you sit glass seats.
Ooh, I want
That'll
that.
get you into some goddamn hockey.
You know what I love when we had arena football, the Pittsburgh Power. That was a blast. I love arena football. Have you ever been?
No.
Dude, I don't even know what the state of the league is right now. But if you get an arena league like near you, it doesn't even have to be like a high end one, not AFL or anything. You got one of those local yokel ones because we used to go over to like Wheeling and Steubenville and watch some of these games. Because my buddy, my old from high school, he's like really big in football. He's at like a football game in like Columbus right now. Or I guess earlier, so here's what I learned. Area 15, if you're in Vegas, go to this place. It is like, when we were going for the Meow Wolf Omega Mart, a bunch of people recommended this, so I went and got tickets, hence the hat. And it's, if you've seen the TikTok video of people going into the cooler, and there's like a space and it turns into this timey-wimey thing, that's that. It's very cool. Don't want to spoil it. I'll talk about it on Awesome Cast next week probably. And but I thought that's all that was there, but it's a whole complex with a whole bunch of experiences. And the main area, there's this giant fiber optic tree over a bar. There's a bunch of bars, axe throwing. There's a virtual golf place, and these other weird experiences. And there's a track, a hanging track that you can go ride called the Halley's Comet through the facility. But it's just also pounding industrial music the whole time. It feels like you're in the glowing gangsters versus Robin scene from Batman Forever. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Neon Gotham, baby.
Yeah, it's very dude, and now I think of it, it's very Batman Forever. Now I think about it, it was a very cool experience. They had they had a decent arcade and everything. And then this is the other thing I learned in wrestling this week. I think I talked about before in LA. Found out that Icons of Darkness with all the all the Batman suits and all the props and Star Wars and Planet of the Apes and Predator and all kinds of stuff. Turns out half of them were wrestlers that work for that trained with Santino Brothers school out there. The security guard I run into, I'm wearing my New Japan shirt, and I was like, yeah, he's a wrestler with FSW, knows the camera guy that used to run with us up in Chicago at Warrior, and his buddy that he was just BSing with on FaceTime was in the 6-man tag last week on Rampage. So
wow,
you're right? And now he's hanging out in a wrestling Mayhem show group. So what's up, Ice Williams? If you guys see him in there, again, please let us know what's happening in Vegas. Let me know what's going on with the scene. I got some cool stuff going on out there. So please keep it up. So that's what I learned in Vegas. Learned in wrestling. Also, check out the Neon Museum if you get out there. Definitely very cool. I did all the goofy stuff after you guys left, Matt.
Is that like where they have all the old casino signs? I've always wanted to do that. That's on my bucket list.
It's a guided tour and everything too. So and they have some Tim Burton stuff that he made. Very, very cool.
That's cool. But that's on my bucket list. I've always wanted to do that.
Yes. Definitely get out there for that.
So I learned 2 things this week.
Mm-hmm.
One, I learned that. Did you guys know what Rey Mysterio did in his time between waiting out his WCW contract and signing with WWE?
Gardening?
Nope. I'll give you a hint. He killed fucking children.
What the fuck?
Rey Mysterio played Freddy Krueger in Jason vs. Freddy. He was the stunt guy as Freddy Krueger in that movie.
No shit.
Yep. Found that out this week. One of my buddies was talking about it. I'm like, really? And then I looked it up. Oscar Gutierrez as Fred Krueger. Stunt work.
Holy shit.
Booyaka, booyaka. Time to die.
Huh.
So if you're ever in the mood to watch Freddy versus Jason again, anytime Freddy gets tossed around, that's Rey goddamn Mysterio.
Side learned, Mike. Get ready.
Okay.
I learned that DJ Z's making music again.
I heard about that.
And the first thing he shared, I think it's a song on his personal Facebook. He's doing this. It's a remix of the old Filthy Animals theme song.
Excellent. He asked what other songs he should remake. I suggested the Fabulous Ruger Brothers theme song.
There you go. Oh, what, Girls in Cars?
No.
American.
They're all American boys.
American boys,
all American boys.
Matt, what'd you learn in wrestling this week?
Hold on, I have one more thing.
Oh, okay.
So, I've been keeping. I've been going to the Max app while I've been unpacking and everything, and I've rekindled my love for BattleBots. And now that AEW is in the Max family, I would humbly request, just for one Dynamite, just for one show, and for one episode of BattleBots, we swap commentators and ring announcers. Just one show.
Okay.
Just one show, because the guy Farouk that does the announcements for all the bots.
Oh yes.
I need to hear him introduce Kenny Omega.
He's great.
I need to hear him introduce Kenny Omega. And honestly, I need to hear JR comment on BattleBots.
I want JR talking about how the BattleBots need to grab a hold. No.
I want that bot has a family.
That bot. You wish this bot.
There's circuits in there.
The referee would just get a hold on this BattleBot tag team match.
I need JR. I need to hear JR comment on BattleBots.
I love it.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
What'd you learn from wrestling?
Why, yes, I did learn from something. Hang on 1 second.
Oh
I
boy.
work while I'm playing with you guys.
You have a speech?
First of all, we need Bryan Danielson on commentary every single gosh darn week.
Yes.
He is brilliant in his storytelling as he explains why Wheeler Yuta is getting better. How he forced him to climb a mountain and do neck bridges on the top of Turtlehead Peak, which I personally witnessed. I saw with my own eyes how high that is, and I was not going to climb that. Maybe next time. But out at Red Rock Canyon, and Danielson's great. Whether it's that or like a couple weeks ago when he was on guest commentary and Moxley's just beating a snot out of somebody and they keep cutting back to Danielson. He's just giggling on commentary like he's just having such a great time. He loves Mox. Oh my God, does Danielson love Mox? We have found the heir apparent to Vicky Guerrero, to peak Vicky Guerrero, and it is Don Callis. This segment on Dynamite tonight with Don Callis in the ring was astounding. Astounding. You know what? And you know what? Don's gonna Don. Don is Don. He's a very good pro wrestling manager and a great talker. But man, you know what, San Diego? You did it. You deserve the kudos, San Diego. You took it to the next level because you booed that man. Boy, did you ever. And Takeshita cuts up one hell of a Japanese language promo. I tell you what, he was good too. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. Let's check it out. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he's going through everybody. Callis is like, he's better than the Great Muta. He's greater than, Kenta Kobashi. And then he gets to like, he's better than Okada. And then like first minute, like Takeshi's like, stop. Like, what?
Takeshi's like, don't summon him. Do not summon him.
Exactly. Why are you saying that name, Don?
Don't summon him. He's still active.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm under 30. Okada's coming. He's hunting me right now.
I love it.
Beating up all the kids.
Yeah, he's being a bully or whatever. I love that stuff.
And he's on a warpath right now. So yeah, it was also pretty good stuff. There was something else from Dynamite.
Go ahead.
No. Jay White and Juice Robinson. I've been one of the people screaming about this for weeks. Mm-hmm. Give Jay White the microphone in front of the crowd and let the man cook. Well, they put him in the front of the crowd tonight. They gave him the microphone, and that gosh darn King Switch, he cooked, baby. Loved it. He's using Tony Schiavone as a human shield. Oh my God, it was good.
So good.
So good.
Finally.
Great Dynamite tonight.
Finally.
They have not all been great lately. Tonight's Dynamite was great.
You see this lineup for Rampage?
Very happy. I've seen that lineup for Rampage.
It's like,
there's an article in the works right now being worked on as we speak.
There's a Commander Vikingo.
4 title matches. This is right up Mad Mike's alley. 4 title matches. None from AEW. So perfect Rampage
3
lineup.
different promotions.
But you know what? The talent is great. So I don't give a crap. Zack Sabre Jr., Shibata, Willow, Vikingo. I don't give a crap.
Well, no, Willow at least makes sense to me.
Pull bums in off the street. Let's get these matches on TV.
Oh.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
Could be. Hey, if that's what Rampage is going to be going forward, no complaints.
So Rampage is going to be not AEW going
Yeah, it's
forward.
going to be like the Forbidden Door show, right? So
I can't. I'm
This
I'm
is
not
just
a,
where,
I'm
like,
not
So
against that.
Rampage is going to be the ROH shows after every pay-per-view back in the day.
it's good. Yeah, it's like the dumping ground for all the other, affiliated promotions title matches. So we'll see. Anyway, looks like a good lineup for Friday.
Friday night's the old War of the Worlds shows Ring of Honor used to do with New Japan.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
But-
and
but
I have a
of
feeling
course-
Friday we're also going to see some fireworks on SmackDown because
Sure.
we have the Roman celebration, and that can only go poorly.
I'm going to watch the pay-per-views, and then I'm going to do a YouTube clip catch-up on WWE television, probably.
Sorg, definitely watch Dragunov and Dijak.
I did watch the promo. Kevin Owens.
Oh my God!
Getting pissed
all
about.
right. I know you're trying to wrap. I know you're trying to wrap.
Oh, I'm good. It's only
Kevin
like 8:30.
Owens.
It's only 8:15 here.
That's fair. Kevin Owens on Raw telling Chad Gable to say the thing that he says that always makes him giggle. I lost my fucking mind. Kevin Owens. I don't know how long you plan on wrestling. When you've decided to hang up your illustrious boots, I want you to become the next Dario Cueto. I don't know how this occurs.
Yes.
I just want you to be a figure with a microphone that you talk every show. And I want you to run the most meta wrestling fed you've ever seen in your fucking life. I just need that, where there are specific rules. Like, if there's a contract signing, we won't be using a table because someone's just going to end up going through it. If
He's
someone has
always
a
been
talk
that.
show,
He's always been like, well, we know how this is going to end, and maybe throw the chairs out early or something like that, So, I love, and it goes to that idea that I've been talking about, but, WWE just has all this formula, and we just rinse and repeat. But I love he pokes at the formula. He just keeps
Kevin Owens is
poking
the most consistent character in all of wrestling.
He cares about the formula of WWE.
Yeah, he sure does. And he upholds it.
Matt Carlins, thank you so much for popping in.
Zork, it was my pleasure. Check out all the shenanigans on WrestlingInc.com, where I am like the Batman of Wrestling Inc. I work night shifts and I protect the world from bad aggregation. That's my mission.
I like how
That's
you've
what we do.
adopted your protecting the world thing from when you did TV producing.
I know.
TV news
Everyone
producing.
who works, everyone who anyone you see who's on TV working a second or third shift, they think they're Batman. That's what they think they are. They'll deny it to your face, but they think they're Batman. Not anybody else. No other superhero. They all think they're Batman.
I think Jim Loke most likely thinks he's Batman.
Jim Loke definitely thinks he's Batman.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100% thinks he's Batman.
But which Batman? Which Batman are you?
I don't know.
The tough questions.
Thanks for wrapping it up with a tough question, Sorg. I don't know. Just Batman. Is there another Batman?
Matt, just say Conroy. Just say
Oh
Conroy.
no, I'm not a
good
voice.
one. That's a good
I'm not worthy.
Next time, next scrum, Tony Khan. Which Batman would you be if you were a Batman?
I'm not burning my question on something stupid like that. No way, man.
Stupid. That's a great question. That's a personality question.
Tony,
No, Matt. Next scrum, ask him if there's a chance for any potential partnership with BattleBots.
I'm going to see
Please, for me.
if I can pop my media friends by asking Tony, Tony, when are you coming back to insert location here? Make up something. Tony, when are you coming back?
When are you coming back to
Terrible.
Walla Walla, Washington?
When are you coming back to
Dude.
Cheektowaga, New York?
There was
Um,
the ICP would have a seminar every year at the gathering, and half of it was people asking when they're coming back to their town. It was
People
so
want to
bad.
know, but
Yeah,
it can't be every question.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm sure they'd love to come to your town and sell out your arena,
Mhm.
but you know,
It's only so many weeks in a year.
what are we gonna do?
Mainstream,
We can't have it all.
mainstream Matt on the Twitter.
Still, with one T.
There you go. And of course, Mad Mike 4883 on the tweets.
Yes, I will be. I will be off of Twitter tomorrow because I'm avoiding spoilers for Spider-Man like the plague. I have a muted words list of about 35 words deep, so I don't see anything.
I'm holding effort. I'm trying to get away from work Sunday or Monday night to try to
Sorg, throw out your muted words list. Take the time you have as a West Coaster right now.
Oh no, West Coast.
Okay.
True,
All right. I'm
that's true.
just saying.
I'm barely gonna be on Twitter. It'll be fun.
If you just mute the word spider, you'll probably be good.
But I should anyways. Thank you so much at Sorgatron on the Twitter. I'm out here in Portland for a few days, and then I'm going to be out in Michigan for all next week. So let me know what wrestling shows might be happening, especially on. I think we're looking at something Saturday night if it works out with our schedule. So, or saying Mayhemmer's out. What's up? I do not have an outro, so everybody, Mike, sing us away. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
No, that's
Are we all
Ronnie's
doing
gimmick. I
different
don't steal
songs?
gimmicks. I don't steal gimmicks. I'm not doing Ronnie's just wait gimmick.
That's the song. That's actually the song.
Oh.
Don't you listen to the show?
Well, then back? No,
You haven't heard the theme song in years, have you?
I probably haven't.
Because in production,
Because I have the chat room open.
The audio.
I have the chat room open,
right,
but it's always
the
muted.
audio we play out for intro and outro. He never hears when he's on the show because it's on the other end of the production. He doesn't get the feedback, so he has no idea what our theme song is.
The theme song could be Mad Mike Sucks, and I would not know.
So long, farewell.
But just wait. Wait for the I know.
Have a good night and watch some wrestling. Good night, everybody.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out. All right, there's audio. Wait a minute. Why is there still audio? Hold on a second.